version. KMC Vibes is back. Welcome to all the viewers. The last show that we did was from the Black Can Studio in November. So KMC Vibes is now back streaming from my office and looking forward to doing some good interviews, meeting some new people, and fresh aspect of this show is we're now reaching out to people in their own homes in their different countries. So, looking forward to introducing you to some new music, new musicians, and some exciting shows. The first guest for this KMC Vibes edition is NUSSY from Australia. NUSSY, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Hello.
Good, good. Um, and so let's see. NUSSY is your actual name, nickname, a stage name?
Stage name.
A
Yeah,
stage
my
name. Okay.
my actual name is Danny, but yeah,
Danny.
when I perform, I go by NUSSY.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you write it in all capital letters. Is there any particular reason for that?
I just thought it looked cool.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And you always perform with kind of like an outfit?
Yeah, I love being able to kind of step into a character, and so that's kind of, NUSSY is my character, where Danny is my normal life, and so I
Right.
love how I can kind of blend the two when I perform.
Okay. And exactly, like, do you have different outfits for different types of performances?
Um, I just like to play with different. I always have an element of sparkles, like you can see on my face.
Uh-huh.
I love glitter, and yeah, I just like to play with different kind of aspects of glitter, fur, anything that's kind of just a bit out of the ordinary that you might not wear in your normal life. Yeah, it's such a good opportunity to get to kind of step into a bit of a more extreme version of myself when I get on stage.
Right, right. Well, that's good. Having definitely like a stage persona and an
Yeah,
off-stage persona is really,
yeah,
really important, especially for the fans.
yeah.
So I'd like to start off the show with a song. You're gonna
Okay,
play a few songs for us.
yep.
What's the first song that you'll do?
I will do my latest single that I released a couple of weeks ago. It's called Sahara.
Mhm.
So you can get that on all streaming platforms. Yeah, I'll start off with that one.
Okay, so NUSSY is an electronic. Let's see, how would you describe your music? Like electronic pop?
Yeah, electronic pop, a bit dance oriented. That's how I would describe it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, NUSSY's going to play a song for us. The name of the song is
Sahara.
called Sahara.
Dancing in the rain, not sure of what's ahead. Straight from the tide, are you on my side? Wrongs that I must tread, abandoned in despair, searching for the why, tears of step high. Cause we're lost in the Sahara, looking for water, praying for life. Lost in the Sahara, crossing the border, painting our eyes. Lost in the Sahara, looking for water, praying for life. Lost in the Sahara, crossing the border, painting our eyes. Water on my tongue, cold air in the night, madness in my mind. It's heaven, 777. I'll be walking into a new dimension. It's heaven, 777. Burning my skin, getting thin. 'Cause we're lost, lost in the Sahara, looking for water, praying for life. Lost, lost in the Sahara, crossing the border, painting our eyes. Lost, lost in the Sahara, looking for water, praying for life. Lost, lost in the Sahara, crossing the border, painting our eyes. In the Sahara, in the Sahara. It's heaven, 777. I'll be walking into a new dimension. It's heaven, 777. Burning my skin, getting thin. 'Cause we're lost, lost in the Sahara, looking for water, praying for life. Lost, lost in the Sahara, crossing the border, painting our eyes. In the Sahara, in the Sahara. And I'm back.
Oh, wow. So, very nice kind of smooth groove, I guess you could say.
Thank
Like
you.
a real smooth dance groove.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh-huh. What what kind of performances, like my image is like you're a DJ at a dance club rather than just like a solo on a stage.
Yeah, so I play, I don't know if you can see it in the camera here, but I've got my DJ set up here.
Okay, okay.
Um, and then I think, I don't know if my keyboard's
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, I can see that.
I
Right,
was like, I
right.
don't know if the keyboard's in there. I can't really see it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I DJ and sing,
Okay.
um, and like obviously play like samples and keyboards and stuff as well. So I have like always been a keyboard player, and then I started DJing as I was kind of like going through like my teenage years, and like when I first kind of started going out to the clubs and that, I started DJing heaps. And then I kind of just started thinking like, why don't I kind of mold those two together where I
Right,
can
right.
be a DJ and sing my own songs live as
Uh-huh.
well.
Okay.
So yeah.
Hmm. Wow. Well, it's a very nice combination. I know a lot of musicians, DJs, musicians that do that kind of work here.
Yeah,
Uh,
cool.
and it fits very well, and the crowd seems to not only have dancing music, but also they get visual entertainment as well.
Yeah, I think what I really like about it is being able to mold like the DJ aspect and the dance music with a live aspect as well, because I'm like, yeah, I can DJ and I can sing, but I can play an instrument as well. So like that's what I really like about it.
Right, right. And with crowds kind of wanting more and more, then it's definitely a bonus.
Yeah, yeah. It just shows that you kind of can do a whole bunch of different things, which I think just kind of adds to your performance as well.
Sure, sure. So you said you started DJing when you were a teenager, is that right?
Yeah, I think I was probably about 16 when I started DJing.
And that was well, let's see, 16. So I'm not really familiar with the laws in Australia, but can you like, are you restricted to the type of venues that you can work in?
Yeah, so our legal age for going out is 18.
Okay.
Um, so I was doing mainly just parties through high school. Friends would kind of ask me to make mixes for their parties, and so I kind of started just doing that and recording mixes. And I used to record them onto CDs, which it's like funny now because the kids probably don't even know what a CD is. But yeah, so I would just record my mixes onto a CD and I would bring it to a party, and then every hour I'd have to like, you could only record an hour on each CD, so every hour you'd have to
Have
go
to
change the
change,
CD.
right? Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I kind of started doing that, and then when I was 18, I could actually go, and play in clubs, which was really fun. And so I did that for a couple of years, and yeah, now I'm here.
Well, with your CD mixes, was that a job? Like, were you actually selling your CDs, or
No,
it was just kind of
in
fun?
in hindsight, I probably should have been charging for it the amount of time that it took me, but it was mainly, it like allowed me, I loved doing it. So it kind of allowed me to hone my skills and just kind of like keep practicing and stuff, because everything that I was like recording, it was all like recorded live. So every time I made a mistake, I'd have to like go back and start it
Right,
all again and
right,
start it
right, right.
all again. So it's like, it just kind of allowed me to hone my skills and like kind of get better and like learn new music as well. Like I was constantly just like surrounding myself with new music because I wanted to bring new songs to the next party and things like that. So
Sure, sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think I just liked being able to control the music. So
That feeling of control as a teenager is what we all
yeah,
want,
I
right?
know, and I knew that then that way at least like I would go to the party and I would like all the music because I chose it.
Yeah, but did you actually get any complaints from like other people at the party, like, "Oh, this music sucks," or
Nah, not very often. I think like I knew my crowd, and I think that's something that I find really, really important as a DJ, is just like being able to know your crowd and know like being able to read them and know, I guess like it was good being able to kind of change the CD every hour, because I used to make like different kind of genres and stuff like that. And so um, that way I could kind of go, okay, well, this isn't really working anymore. Let's switch it up and try something else. And yeah, it's all a bit of
right.
fun.
Well, that's actually a good point that you bring up, because being a successful musician, you have to know your audience.
Yeah,
You have to be able to read the audience. Like, if you're performing or something and you play your favorite song, but the audience doesn't like it,
yeah,
or they're not too receptive, you have to understand how to change like immediately
yeah.
and
And
keep the
that,
audience happy.
I think that's one of the hardest things of being a live performer is going, sometimes you go and you do a show and sometimes everything that you do works and everyone loves it. And then you could do the exact same thing the next week to a completely different crowd and they receive it completely differently. And being able to adapt on stage while you're performing, I think that is something that took me a really, really long time to learn. But it's definitely something that's very important for being a live performer.
Right. Well, looking at that aspect, so you performed internationally, right? You've performed in different
Yeah.
places. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm based in Australia, but over the last few years, I have performed. I went and did Music Matters in Singapore a few years ago, and then I did Canadian Music Week the year after that, and then last year I went to Sweden and performed at Live at Heart, which Sweden was just like the most
Amazing.
amazing place I've ever been. It's
Right.
it was so amazing. But yeah, I mean, I love Melbourne. I love being in Australia. I think just being able to go overseas and playing your music in different places, it just gives you a completely new read on, you know, different songs that work in different places and how different audiences
Exactly.
react, and also just different cultural aspects of audiences as well. Like, I found when I was in Sweden, the people there, they were singing my lyrics back to me. They were loving my show, but nobody in the audience danced. And I was talking and I thought, oh, they don't like what I'm doing. But I was speaking to someone after the show and they said, oh no, that's just how, like, that's just how we are here. We're like, yeah, and so they were like, no, that's us being respectful. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that's something that I had to kind of learn. And I think learning those different cultural aspects is really, really interesting and something that's really important when you are going to go and play overseas. Because, yeah.
Well, let me ask you. So you got that vibe from the very first show that you did in Sweden?
Yeah.
Okay. So like when you were on the stage, were you like panicking, trying to adjust? Well, they're dancing that song. Let me change up and try and do another song, and they'll dance to that. Or did you just play your set as is?
I think I was like so the way that my full live show runs, because I kind of DJ in between the tracks and stuff, like I can mix tracks, I can choose whatever order, and because I'm on stage by myself too, I can choose the order and, muck around with it as much as I want, and it's not going to affect anyone else. So yeah, I think I was kind of just going, okay, cool. They like that one. Let's just keep going in, something kind of to that. So that was cool too. But I think that worked for me because I had a big bank of songs. Whereas if you only have, your set and that's it, like it very easily throw you.
So you're gonna do another song for us.
Yes.
What's the name of this song?
I'm going to do a bit of an older song of mine. It's called Hard as Diamonds.
Hard as Diamonds, okay? This is Hard as Diamonds by NUSSY.
Built high, come let's try. Keep strapping up the heel to keep your secret safe inside. Stuck on reply, voice and champagne. Round and round in circles and it never runs away. Cheating nights up, stick it up. You feel it in the night. You turn it sweet, it's a bitter. With the heart as diamonds. You cheating nights up, stick it up. You feel it in the night. You turn it sweet, it's a bitter. With the heart as diamonds. Heart as diamonds. Heart as diamonds. Could you bury it again? Would you ever see the sin? Close your eyes and never ever let the light in. Pick yourself up off the floor. Do it, tell me what you're waiting for. 'Cause I need tangled little pieces of the life you had in store. Jaded minds start to glitter. You feel it in the night. You turn it sweet into bitter. With a heart as hard as diamonds. Jaded minds start to glitter. You feel it in the night. You turn it sweet into bitter. With a heart as hard as diamonds. Heart as hard as diamonds. Heart as hard as diamonds. It's easy to hide it, keep it deep inside you. How do you find it? Know you look at diamonds. It's easy to hide it, keep it deep inside you. How do you find it? Know you look like diamonds. Heart is diamonds. You cheated night starts to glitter. You feel it in the night. You turn it sweet into bitter. With a heart as hard as diamonds. You cheated night starts to glitter. You feel it in the night. You turn it sweet into bitter. With a heart as hard as diamonds. Yeah. With a heart as hard as diamonds.
All right, that was Hard as Diamonds by NUSSY.
Yeah.
So what are some of your influences when you write?
I love pop music. So I think even though I kind of write dance music, like I try to kind of keep that real like pop sensibilities in like my lyrics and my melodies, because even though like I want it to be really fun for like people to dance to and stuff in the club, I still want it to be able, like I still want people to be able to connect with my lyrics and with my songs and be able to have that moment where, you know, they're out and they're having fun, but they're still like, hey, this song really speaks to me and I can relate to these lyrics and
Right.
so, yeah.
Cool. So like when you perform, having the audience actually hear your lyrics is really important.
Yeah, I think being a songwriter, and I think that really distinguishes like the difference between people who are writers and performers and people who are solely performers. Like there's an element of like wanting to get my message across where that's super important to me.
Okay. So here in Japan, where they don't really speak English,
Yeah.
you're interested in getting to the Japanese market.
Yeah.
What is your interest in Japan and the Japanese market?
Japan is somewhere that I have always been fascinated with. Ever since I was like a teenager, I was just so fascinated with the whole country. I'm really into history as well, so I'm really, really interested in the history of the country and where like the culture has come from and how it's kind of grown, and it's somewhere that I've always wanted to go, and we've had trips to Japan planned for the last like 3 years, and they haven't happened. So I guess for me, it's like what I love about like a lot of Japanese artists is the like the showmanship, like there's so much theater in the way that Japanese artists perform that I think is really unique and like not really that prevalent in a lot of other cultures. And I think that's something that I connect really well with. So even though, you know, people predominantly don't speak English, they might still be able to connect with my performance on some level.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And so you said you a lot of history, like just real quick, for example, like what kind of Japanese history are you into?
I love, I'm super interested in like the history of like the geishas and also like samurais as well. I find all of that's just so incredibly fascinating.
Okay, cool. So you've been to Singapore?
Yeah.
Have you been to other Asian countries?
Yeah, I've been to Singapore twice, Malaysia. I've been to Hong Kong, China very, very, very quickly. But yeah, Japan's on my bucket list, and I was really hoping to get there this year, but then coronavirus.
Right. So
put a bit of the spanner into works.
Yeah, so the Japanese market is quite different. Music market, music culture, Japanese culture in general. And so part of what KMC is about introducing people to Japanese culture, but also introducing Japanese people to foreign cultures.
Yeah.
Japanese seem to really like Australia. Do you have any Japanese fans that like are living in Australia that enjoy your music?
Not in Australia, but I have always had really good reception from Japanese fans in Japan, just through like Spotify and Apple Music and things like that, where people have been able to kind of connect. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how they found my music, but they seem to like it. So I'm happy with that.
Right. Okay. What do you think is your appeal to the Asian audience? Do you think you have any specific thing that you do or your character that appeals?
I think if I was to guess, I think it could be to do with the fact that I am quite theatrical when I perform, and like there is this kind of whole character aspect of what I do. I think there's elements to my music as well that seem, even if people don't understand the lyrics, like that seems to connect anyway. But I think as well, like it goes the other way as well. Like I really like baby metal, for example, and like they get played on the radio here in Australia, but I have no idea what they're singing about. But I still really, really like their music. So I think there's like even though, you know, there is this whole thing of getting like a message across through like lyrics, I think there's something that like translates past that where you can connect with a song even if you don't really know what they're saying.
Right. Yeah, there's a Japanese band, Japanese group that performed. They have since broken up, but the lead singer Nomiya Maki still performs.
Yeah.
And the group's called Pizzicato 5.
Okay.
And it's really kind of a very flowery, hippie-based type of stuff. But Nomiya Maki dresses up just like you're dressing up now.
Amazing.
With a lot of that kind of performance outfit and stuff.
Yeah.
Check out, definitely check them out.
Yeah, I will.
So where, if people are interested in learning about your music or more about you or other things, how can people find out about you?
So all the social media, so Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube as well. I've got a music video coming out next week, so that will be up on my YouTube channel, and I've made it very easy for people to find me. I'm just at NUSSY Music on all the channels. Yeah, and then my music's up on all the streaming platforms, so Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Amazon, the Google one, I think it's called Google Play. Yeah, all of them.
All of them. Just search for. Well, let's see. I'm from the U.S., so I would pronounce it as NUSSY. You're pronouncing it.
I say NUSSY, but then some people say NUSSY as well. So
NUSSY Music. Okay. So I'd like to ask for one final song, if you don't mind.
Yep.
What song are you going to do for us?
This song is called Triggered, and it's unreleased at this stage. So I'm hoping to have it out later this year.
Okay.
So keep your eyes.
This is Triggered by NUSSY.
Memories haunting me. Can't erase my mind. Memories in my sleep. Every single night, I've lost all faith to pray. Is there nothing I can change? Here I go, I get triggered. 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 I get triggered. I get triggered. Memories haunting me. Keep me in a maze. Memories in my sleep. You recognize my face. How do I escape? Giving fear a brand new name. Here I go, I get triggered. 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 Triggered. I get triggered. Here I go, 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 I get triggered. Here I go. I know I get I was on my head. How do I escape?
That was triggered by NUSSY. Well, thank you for the interview. Looking forward to your participation in KMC this year, though it will be different.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to being a part of it. So
Right,
thanks for
great,
having
great.
me.
And we're looking forward to more of your performances. And stay active with KMC. Keep in touch, and
Yeah.
we are looking forward to seeing you again.
Great, me too.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.